Okay, so today I am comparing Tamarindo, Costa Rica to Bocas del Toro, Panama. The towns are very similar. Tamarindo is on the Pacific side and Bocas del Toro is on the Caribbean side. Both are similar in population. Tamarindo is 9,000 people and Bocas del Toro is 13,000 for Isla Colón, 17,000 for all 9 islands. Tamarindo is obviously a beach town, so it's just a beach town, but then it's got surrounding areas. So it's got Langosta on one side, and then on the other side it's got Playa Grande, Hawkes, and everything else. So during high season, obviously Tamarindo and Bocas del Toro will be a lot more popular. I know that in Bocas del Toro and in Tamarindo, things almost double. Tamarindo is a party town, a surf community, and a few other things. Bocas del Toro, party town for Isla Colón. The 9 other islands have loads of surf and white sand beaches for a more tranquilo, relaxed vibe. I've done a lot of research for this video and I compared on quite a few different websites. Nomad lists Tamarindo as being a monthly income of living expenses of what you're going to need is $4,300. Living expenses of what you're going to need for Bocas del Toro is $2,700. So it's quite a difference, but it's because the colones, which is the currency in Costa Rica, is getting stronger and stronger, which is making the US dollar weaker and weaker. 2 years ago, it used to be 700 colones to a US dollar, now it's 520. So it's just a big difference. Things are getting to be a lot more expensive. Plus you've got inflation. First I'll go over hostels. Okay, so now comparing the Selinas. So Selina has 2 different options in Bocas del Toro, Isla Colón and Red Frog. Isla Colón is definitely a party hostel, but you know, they've been maintaining the maintenance, which is a good sign. And Red Frog is a much more tranquilo vibe. It's inland, it's on Basamentos Island. You have to walk in from the marina, which is about an 8-minute walk, but you've got tons of wildlife, tons of greenery, and it's so chill. Now comparing it to Tamarindo, so I have to say, I've been coming to this hostel for a long time. Tamarindo, Selina. This was actually the first Selina I ever came to. They have done a lot of work over the years. You could definitely see that this is turning into a party hostel. So quite similar to Isla Colón. They do say that it's more wellness because it is Tamarindo, and Tamarindo is definitely a vibe, but it's just a different kind of vibe. It's definitely become more of that kind of party hostel and less of the wellness retreat. Because of Red Frog and the other options in Bocas del Toro definitely wins when it comes to the Selina. Now we're gonna get into hotels. There's a lot of different luxury hotels in both, in Tamarindo and in Bocas del Toro. In Tamarindo, there is Diria, there's the JW Marriott, there's options outside like the Four Seasons, there's the W Hotel and Reserva Conchal. So there's a lot of luxury options outside of Tamarindo, so there is a lot of different options. Now pricing is quite similar, Bocas del Toro to Tamarindo. In Bocas del Toro, there's Nayara, brand new luxury hotel that just opened. It's got mangroves all around it, and it's got an elevated beach above the water. Nightly cost is $1,400 a night, but then there's other options like La Carolina. La Carolina is close to Bluff Beach, and Bluff Beach is a popular surf spot in Bocas del Toro, and it was $286 a night. So there is different options in both areas, and it is very, you know, quite similar. So now infrastructure. Infrastructure has really been taken up a notch. In both areas, they are doing a lot of renovations, getting ready for high season. Right now we're in September, it's rainy season. They have about 2.5 months to go before it's high season. So they're definitely putting in some roads. But Tamarindo has been working on one road, whereas Bocas del Toro has been working on all of them in Isla Colón. So Isla Colón wins this one. So next is real estate options. I usually look at options for real estate investors. If they're looking for real estate investors and they're looking for primarily a vacation rental, usually what they want is they want water, which is always, they're surrounded by water in Bocas del Toro. They want water, rather cheap prices, and a high rent, and obviously lots of things to do. That checks the boxes on both sides. Bocas del Toro, it's obviously a little bit cheaper, but you can also look for something a lot more expensive. There's just not a lot of options. Now when you get to Costa Rica has options, but it is a vibe. Everything is usually built in the jungle or on the beach. In this video up here, I share with you a Balinese experience that I shot while I was in Tamarindo. In Bocas del Toro, you can usually find something overwater bungalow or property or land for anywhere from 65 to 150,000, and that would be perfect for building your own or finding the existing, demolishing it to the base, and then building up to exactly what you want. And that is the best thing about Bocas del Toro. Every building has character. Every building has character, and it is awesome. Now in Tamarindo, you can't exactly do that, but property prices start, I think, around like a condo, 250, 300,000 at the low, and it goes right up to 10 million. Okay, so now food. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I love smoothies or smoothie bowls being in Latin America. So Costa Juice is by far the best smoothies or bowls basically in all of Costa Rica. Green Papaya. So Green Papaya is one of those restaurants that really stands out because as soon as you walk to the front of it, you will totally understand what I'm talking about. It's surrounded by swings. It's got a great vibe for tacos and burritos and kind of everything you're looking for when it comes to Costa Rican lunch. Now, if you're wanting an experience when it comes to dinner, there's two options. Dragonfly is a staple for locals in Tamarindo. It has sushi, it has all sorts of different fusions. Another one is Listanko, not far from the city center. It is an experience. Literally, you sit down at the table, they bring an easel to you, and they walk you through item by item the whole menu. Then they ask you what you want to drink. You don't have a menu. They ask you what you like, and they create it for you. And it's usually really good. Now when it gets to Bocas Town, most options are on Isla Colón. When I look at where I am right now, which is Selina Red Frog, Selina has options for food, but you know, it's just basic stuff across the board. It's pretty much the same menu everywhere you go in Panama because it's all run by Tacos La Neta. So in Isla Colón, there is a lot of tourists. It's a party area, so there's tons of coffee shops, tons of restaurants, tons of nightclubs, tons of hostels, tons to do. So I went to Bambuda Hostel, a great vibe, amazing food, great coffee, and I like their water area a lot more to do. A little bit more than Selina Isla Colón, but I really do prefer Selina Red Frog where I am right now. Another option, if you're looking for smoothies similar to Costa Juice, in Bocas del Toro there is Bocas Blended, pretty much the same thing, you know, luscious foods and just really, really rich, amazing tasting food. Now, if you're looking for a really good coffee, I went to Paradise Hotel, same thing, really, really nice. Thing is, you do need to know a little bit of Spanish. They do not speak English whatsoever at Paradise Hotel, but at some of the hostels they do, but a lot of the servers, what I've noticed in Bocas del Toro, speak Spanish, so you do need to know a little bit. Whereas in Tamarindo, pretty much English just gets away with everything. You should be able to get away with English and no problems whatsoever. And last but not least, there's an amazing taco place called La Buga, another overwater area. You can't miss it. It's bright and colorful. It's got a million different signs. It is down the road a little bit, but it's well worth the walk. Okay, so when it gets into nightlife, people, you've got your food, now you're like wanting to go out with friends, you've got, you know, your drinking options. There's a lot of different drinking options in both areas. Nightclubs, lots of, you know, dance clubs, music, all sorts of different things going on, cocktail joints in both areas. But they are so different, so they're not really comparison. Tamarindo is on the beach, or it's brick and mortar nightclubs with big sound systems. Bocas del Toro is usually over water like nightclubs, which is pretty cool. Like you literally just jump in the water. Totally different vibe, open air, everything else. They're not even really comparable. You just have to kind of experience them for yourself. Okay, so say if you want to spend a little bit more time here, so I'm going to compare renting. So if you're looking to rent something in Bocas del Toro, in Isla Colón, things are kind of run down from what I saw. When you get out of Isla Colón, there's a lot more like La Solarte, which is an island right across from it, or where I am right now, Basamentos. Basamentos has a luxury hotel. They sell their homes. I believe they also do rentals and vacation rentals and things like that. So there is options. So rentable in Isla Colón was as low as $450 a month, but usually for something that you that you'll be happy with as a foreigner is usually $700 to $800, maybe even $850, $900. Now, I did a video where I compared everything. My living in Tamarindo was $1,100 a month for 1 bedroom, and it felt like a shack because it was literally called Casa Shack. So it is a lot more expensive in Tamarindo, and that is why your living expenses are a lot higher in Tamarindo, because I know people doing $1,800, $1,900, $2,000, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, and some of them they're renting out as Airbnbs to kind of supplement the income. So have you been to Bocas del Toro or to Tamarindo? If you feel like I missed anything, or if you disagree or agree, let me know in the comment section below. And check out my other guides where I go through towns and cities all throughout Latin America that foreigners would go visit.